Here's an old EchoStar analog satellite receiver that I sourced out locally. My plan was to use it to capture C-SPAN in analog on C-band satellite 131 West, because the receiver that I have, there's something wrong with the colors. So I thought, well, if I can find another analog satellite receiver, maybe I can get some nice footage of C-SPAN in analog before it shuts off at the end of the month. So I found this one on Kijiji, and the owner was asking $25. So I thought, well, that's not too bad. So I went out to get the receiver from him, and he said that it worked fine the last time he had it hooked up to his C-band dish, which unfortunately he had already gotten rid of. And I asked him if we could just plug the receiver in quickly just to make sure that it turns on before I paid him for it. And when he did that, there was a snap, crackle, pop sound and some sparks. So we tried it again just to make sure it wasn't the outlet, and it was definitely the receiver. This time a little bit of smoke came out of it as well. So he ended up giving it to me for free, just for parts. And when I got it home, just to be safe, I set it on the concrete here in my driveway, kind of away from everything else, in case something went wrong when I plugged it in again. So I connected it to a power bar, switched it on, and same thing, sparks popping. And this time though, I left it on for just a few extra seconds, and it actually started a fire. That burned itself out within a few seconds though, but there was no way I was going to try and use this thing after that. So I ended up cutting the extension cord off of it just to keep anybody else from plugging it in, and this will have to go to some sort of e-waste or electronic waste to be recycled now. So the fire happened somewhere in here. I'm not exactly sure which part it was, but there's no way I'm going to try and fix this. It's just not worth it. And analog is going to be done and over with at the end of the month anyways. So that's that. So I was kind of disappointed though, because I thought this might be a receiver that could maybe give me a better picture on that C-SPAN channel, but I guess it wasn't meant to be. But the upside of this little outing was the guy also gave me a complete polar mount for an Orbitron C-band satellite dish, which is the same as this one here you see on the screen. This one has that unique L&B button hook mount. It's a single arm instead of the 4 struts that you usually see on these dishes. And I actually have a spare dish like this, so that gives me another full complete C-band dish with the dish and mount, which is kind of nice to have a spare one of. And I haven't tested out the actuator. Both of my dishes are manual dishes, so I don't use actuators. So I might think about giving this one a try. Not sure yet.